And as heavy as it was, everything is kind of hanging out. I got turned around and I'm home with it. I thought this for many years. I remember it very well. Hey, Lee.
Go on. Here was that.
91. Yesterday, 31 years ago. Where were you?
You just moved from California to Woodbury. In August. I grew up in Chicago. So I knew what snow was. But I was not expecting that. And I had not gone yet to Fleet Farm to get my shovel. So neighbors took care of us.
Absolutely.
But I remember going trick or treating. There was 8 inches on the ground and the kids were tramping through the yards to trick or treat.
A couple weeks later, another 18, 20 inches. So it
It
was
was Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
it was just real
before.
close to there.
Yeah.
Because it was our Wisconsin deer hunt. I got turned around in the woods that I know very well.
You got agenda copies or not tonight?
Look on the counter.
I don't need to turn on my computer. at once.
California, so it would be great.
Well, my wife got transferred with me.
Yeah, but welcome.
So it was great.
to the Midwest. Wow.
I'll just take.
You want me to? You need me to stay for you? I don't need this. I do, I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, that was a wake up.
I had a project going in Rochester, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And we had 3 to 4 inches of ice on a second floor cap.
Yeah.
It just absolutely stymied me for several weeks.
Oh, sure.
That's just unforeseen. It was taking power lines down and stuff out there. Kind of nice. I lived in Lionel in Wisconsin. So it was like a Thursday or something. That's it. Shut down for the week and I tried to get the project. I got home.
No, that was crazy. Pretty wild. So the only thing that compares to it, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 68. It was 4 down in Chicago. There was a monster storm down there. And I remember we lived in an apartment. And all the guys in the apartment came out with their shovels to shovel the apartment.
Of the apartment.
The apartment building, yeah, with their shovels. We ended up with a pile of probably as tall as the ceiling, snow in this park. It's like, I don't know, I mean, it's. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh. Sir. Before the meeting starts, because it's not on this agenda. Any luck, folks, along the way there's system work with the trail stuff.
I haven't started because I just received.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would check.
I just popped to the other side of the room. I'm in pretty steady.
Hey.
Did you get rid of a lot of signs?
Yeah.
I had a big wad of cash when I left.
1,800.
18.
Well, that guy was a man that bought $300 worth of something.
Yeah.
That just bores me.
Oh, that's Carnival.
Okay.
He goes to flea markets and resells them, so he made a killing. He's gonna probably do 200, and he paid 20 and so.
So roll call, gee, we got 1, 2, 3. Jeff's not here and Dan Gavin's not here. So. Yep. Okay, so I'll take a motion to adopt the agenda as posted.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded to adopt the agenda as posted. All in favor, say aye. Aye,
Aye.
motion carried. Approval of prior minutes of 10/4/22. Motion to,
I make a motion to approve the minutes for 10/4/2022.
is there a second?
Second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so Lee, you're up. With the
Mr.
road reports.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, we spoke last time about the deficiencies that occurred in the 2022 crack sealing and seal coating project. The board considered the issues at the last meeting, elected to hold back the cost of the vehicle cleaning, as well as the costs for Stantec to be dealing with the deficiency issues from the contractor's pay request. There may or may not be further discussion at the next board meeting if whether or not the contractor chooses to come and discuss that with the board. But just as a summary, the outstanding issues include the reseal coating of Rolling Hills Trail that was originally seal coated in the rain. Otherwise, the driveway where the seal coat aggregate was deposited has been cleaned up to the satisfaction of the residents who own the private driveway. The other couple of issues have also been addressed. So next year, it's the Rolling Hills Trail that will have to be taken care of. And as a note, the contractor did inform me that they elected not to do the crack sealing on what is it? Fair
50th Street
50th Street
and
and
East Oaks.
East Oaks, that's right, that one. So they that was discussed at the pre-construction meeting. Apparently, the person that we talked to at the pre-construction meeting is no longer with the company, so they didn't get that crack sealing done. It was an addition to what our plan had. And based on the situation at the moment, the contractor has elected not to do that crack sealing.
You said the board held back the cost of vehicle cleaning and something else.
And the inspection costs for Stantec to deal with the issues that were created by the contractor.
Thank you.
And Mark, would you please note that 50th Street didn't get crack sealed. And also East Oaks that we requested. And Rolling Hill Trail did get lined. I was out there today and it's
Yep.
got striping on it, but they'll
have to redo that again next
have
year.
to redo that next year after they
Correct.
do a proper seal coat on it.
Right.
So with this discussion, then it's the town's responsibility for next year to crack seal 50th Street and East Oaks.
If the town wants those cracks sealed, then we would probably include that in next year's project.
So I guess I'm gonna bring this up this evening and then we can move on. So I've been in discussions with North Hudson. North Hudson rented a unit, a self-propelled unit that they crack sealed and did their own roads in North Hudson. They have not given me the cost yet per mile or block that they operated off of. They were absolutely happy with it. And I had a discussion, so this is out in the open. I had a discussion that we may potentially be interested in partying up with them, maybe 50% of that unit for next year. I'll bring you some prices on it, but I feel that it's unbelievable savings compared to contractors. So I'll be bringing in more later. Okay.
Is it possible for us to get your contact information on that so we could find out a little bit more about the machine and how it works? And we'd actually like to go see the product, you know, the result as well. So
Okay.
we're up to speed, and because if we're going to use that next year, then we're gonna have to kind of figure out how we're gonna incorporate that into the overall project. Because that has to happen first, right?
Well, I'm mentioning that I've discovered this.
Mhm.
I'll get you the information.
Excellent.
I'm kind of taking it up on the fact of, okay, the roads that we don't have bidded out that need addressing. We'll, as a group, decide how many of them this unit's gonna do it, and we're gonna try it. Because
Sounds
I can
good.
guarantee you the cost is eye-awakening.
So it takes, takes care of the crack,
Yep,
puts the emulsion down.
yep,
And the aggregate
yep. It's
coming out the back
self-propelled.
end.
No, you can see it all in front of you.
This is
It's
just
a
crap.
cab over device. A 50,000 pound truck cab over, you can see it, it's got the arm on it, squirts its stuff, you control it, every aspect of it. And this, and if I'm missing something, ask me more stuff. This company rents them out to municipalities. And like North Hudson, they went and got the emulsion from St. Croix County. And then they went up to Dresser and got their own chip. And I looked at, why can't we do this? Why can't I put a competent guy in it for 2 weeks, a month? We'll see what kind of numbers he brings back to me. And the cost of it. And then I look at, I feel I can find a competent individual for 2 weeks or a month. And we're gonna try it. I look at, they saved, I think Pat told me they saved 100,000.
That would be outstanding.
I'm looking forward to when he has time to put it all together.
So for clarification, is this purely crack sealing, or does this do the seal coating as well?
Crack sealing.
Crack sealing, okay.
Not, okay, and it doesn't put. Okay,
Not the
just crack.
length of the road, just the,
just the cracks.
yeah.
Okay, I was picturing that it was taking care of the cracks and then it was putting an emulsion down and then off the final product was.
The length of the
aggregate-
road.
Well, whatever the path would be, if it was an 8 or
Oh.
a 10 or a 12-foot path.
It would, so that I'm describing this correctly, it would be the crack.
Yep.
The sealing and the chipping of the crack.
Crack, yep.
Not the whole seal.
No, but it's taken the labor force out of it is what it's doing. Adding it to the machine. And efficient.
So
He-
it's that routing the crack too,
Correct.
And it doesn't take a break.
or is it?
I'd just like to state that Chris has already introduced this during the budgeting process. And at that time explained how it was gonna work and for the consideration of the board for the 2023 crack seal year.
Oh, okay,
And so this is already in under consideration.
okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Excellent.
I would ask that we don't change our budget for next year.
There's
too soon on that because we can always use that budgeted money for.
I had no intentions on it. I just wanted to show and speak that we may be able to show considerable savings moving forward.
Sure.
I didn't change anything in the budget. I just went in fact, you know, obviously the biggest ticket items in here are that ceiling and crack ceiling, so.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Anything on the
Church Street.
Church Street one?
Nothing really new this week, or this meeting. We're just finishing up the design of the project. We already talked about the CUP is coming up, December 1st. We don't anticipate any issues with that. We will have a budget update next week at the board meeting, just to show where we're all at, since the project has morphed considerably since the beginning of the project. So we will have a budget update on that, and other than that, we're pretty much good to go. We are having a neighborhood meeting. I believe it is on November 16th, which is a Thursday. We'll have an open house. We'll have a short presentation and then talk with the residents about their particular areas of the project. We are looking at getting those notices out this week, probably Thursday. And yeah, we're just rolling along.
Would you have it here?
It'll be here. Yes.
The 16th, you have it, time.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
That's about it. Yep.
Gee. Other road projects, nothing going on right now, as far as we know.
Bob, citizen comment.
Yes,
I was wondering, under this other projects, we don't have access to the minutes. Would it be possible, since you guys already approved them, would it be possible to read what the minutes state about the 125th Avenue behind Big Ice?
yeah, you could probably get those from Terry.
Well, it cost me money if you could just read off that portion of it.
So what is your question about 125th?
I just want what is in the minutes regarding 125th. We don't have access to that here.
Well, I'll comment on, we had a problem with the big guys having major problems down there. Oh, did you have it here? Okay.
That's the verbiage from the minutes.
Okay, Mark just gave me the verbiage from the minutes. So what, so no parking signs on 125th Avenue behind Big Guy's Barbecue. Teresa received complaints about parking on the narrow road. We decided to add no parking signs on 125th Avenue from 25th Street to Highway 35.
One side or both sides?
That would be for both sides.
And that's just unreasonable. I mean, I wanted to bring that up when it comes to signage and other issues, but if we're going to talk about that signage issue, there is no reason to post both sides of that 125th west of 25th over to Wisconsin 35, when you should only post no parking signs on the north side of the road. If you're looking for fire trucks or emergency vehicles, both sides are not needed. And I could ask an engineer that question too.
So yeah, does that answer your question, Darla?
Oh,
Well, actually, I have a second portion, which is, now that you've read it, those complaints that Teresa received, were they written complaints or verbal, or what kind of complaints?
I can't answer that. It was brought up to her as town chair. So And it was asked to be put on our agenda, and so we acted on it to have that done. And right now it's, the posts are already in, the signs are already ordered, so, we're moving on from there, so.
So as a committee, you did not receive any written complaints?
It's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go past it.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I need to make a clarification. So neighborhood meeting for Church Street is on a Thursday, but it's the 17th, not the 16th. So let the minutes
Yep,
show that it's actually Thursday, the 17th, not Thursday, the 16th,
at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Thank you for making me look good.
run that down by me one more time.
So I said Thursday, November 16th was the neighborhood meeting. It's actually the 17th, Thursday, the 17th.
Oh, okay,
The 16th is a Wednesday.
okay,
So I just had it a day off, sort of.
okay,
Just want to make sure that was clear in Mark's minutes.
yeah. So. Okay, let's move on to, discussion of upcoming snowplow season with contractors, they're both on board, they have no issues, so. What's, what their contract reads, so. So we're status quo on that.
I talked to both contractors today and invited them to show up tonight. Both of them indicated they had no major issues, so they probably would not be here.
Tuma and Schmidt.
Tuma and Schmidt.
Yes. Yeah,
Perfect.
so. The damages to roads, I seen in my running around out there, Doug, you see anything, Chris? Everything's pretty much status quo right now. Well, all the crack sealing or, potholing and all that stuff has all been brought up to date, so. Yeah, okay, under signage, like they said, that the signs are already ordered for 125th Avenue. And the poster already up.
That's fine. If we're talking signage, there is no reason to have signage for no parking on both sides of that road from 25th going west on the south side and the north side over to Wisconsin 35. That just makes no sense. Have it on the north side or one side, park on the shoulder, and you have no problems getting emergency vehicles, fire trucks through. And I just, I would like to see that revised.
So what is your opinion?
Well, to be honest, normally we defer to the fire chief as far as what he needs for access.
12 feet.
I would think 12 feet would be enough. Well, you're gonna have more than
Well,
that.
Well, I know, but
Yeah,
once
I
you're
mean, I
parked.
think if we're, like, if you look at our driveway codes and stuff, everything says 15 feet
15.
of clearance.
Yep.
perfect. And I'm fine with 15 feet. Also,
The thing that's missing here, I haven't collected all the facts on. It was brought to my attention that there was a personal residential party that potentially could have been at that date that plugged up those streets. I haven't got to the bottom of that yet, and maybe the town here is blaming a different venue for it. And I do agree with one side would work. So I look at when any one of us has overflow for a graduation party or whatever, we can keep dreaming up stuff that you park on the edge of your road. Okay, if you park on the edge of the road on both sides, then you're really choking it up. So that's my thought.
If we're going to have no parking on one side of that road, excuse me, I'm going to request that we put the signs on the north side. Because if on the south side of that road, where Big Guys is, he parks a lot in the ditch. It's a pretty flat ditch. And we don't
Correct.
really want to confuse, throw no parking signs up on that south side, which is where a lot of his employees and a lot of people park. So I would say put the no parking signs up on the north side
From 25th
from
to
25th
Wisconsin,
to
35.
35. If you're only gonna do one
We,
side, that would be
we
the side.
didn't
way to
put,
do it.
we didn't go all the way from 25th, because that's quite a ways to walk.
It is.
So we just put them past that little field driveway that's on the south side.
Yep.
So I kept it off of the road the state road right away. We started at that little curve.
Yep.
As you come off 35. And we put 2 no parking tollway zones from each end, like we did on Perch Lake. And we also did two in the center. So, and that was both sides. So,
I want to make a motion.
but let me,
Sure.
so if in the fact that there's a fire at Big Guy's Barbecue. Okay? Just use my thought,
We're listening.
because has happened before. When you're fighting a fire and trucks need to move in and out to get water. You need that whole thing opened up. For the fire trucks to go north or east and west to get back here to get water. So I'm saying, even,
Okay, so
Where
I'm
they're at.
saying. Since we're discussing this, is that he's got a public entrance off of Wisconsin 35. Almost directly across that entrance onto 125th. Correct?
yes,
So I think you've got a moot point, and I think that we should have no parking on the north side of the road from Wisconsin 35 to just west of 25th. One side only.
I'm going to add one more thing. In the winter, that north side is the side that drifts in something terrible. When we
Oh,
get
you're right.
wind out of the north.
Northwest.
Yeah, and that's the side we're going to be out there constantly clearing, although I'm not sure how many parkers we're gonna get out there during that time of year.
Correct.
let's get an answer from the fire department before we act on this.
You've already acted on it. You've got posts in the ground and you've got signs ordered for both sides, and I want to make a motion.
Let's talk to the fire chief about it. Make sure if he's gonna have enough access to get through there with trucks going both directions,
I
okay?
don't disagree with that at all.
All right, so let's not do anything until we talk to the fire chief. I'll talk to fire chief myself. And we'll put it on the next meeting.
So what are we gonna put down for item 6 under signage in our meeting minutes tonight? To bring it forward to next month's meeting.
Just table it until our next month meeting in December.
And what are you gonna note, Mark?
I have that we discussed no parking signs on 125th behind Big Guy's Barbecue. Signs have been ordered. And there's a question of the need to sign both sides of the road. I can add, Bob will talk to the fire chief.
And bring
About their
it back to the,
and bring it to
committee.
next meeting. Yes.
Yes, for next month.
I'm good with that. And no signs are gonna go up until we completely get this resolved with the fire department and the public works committee. Correct?
Yes, I'll, if the fire chief says he wants both sides accessible to both sides. We will put them up on both sides. If he says one side's fine, then we'll just put them up on one side. Okay?
So your signs come in tomorrow. Are you putting the no parking signs up on both sides until we talk to the fire chief? Or-
I will talk to the fire chief and then I will go from there.
Okay,
So I will I will direct it to the town chair. And she can. Then, has it been to the board on this issue or not? You're probably not.
I don't believe so.
I would say, I don't recollect in-depth discussion on the topic.
It was
Okay.
not a motion at the last meeting. It was not a motion to
To
go
the
forward
board.
to the board. That was a motion from our committee.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
I have, Chair Marty, I have a request on the notation that the minutes would reflect. And I would ask, do we have more than 125th Street in the town of St. Joseph?
I do have signs on 125th behind Big Guy's Barbecue.
Do we
Sign.
have more than 125th Street in the town of St. Joseph?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
west of 25th. I think we've got it identified.
And all I would say is let's not call out behind Big Guy's Barbecue. Let's just state that this is gonna occur on this road at this location.
Okay, I can change that to between 25th Street and
Wisconsin 35.
Wisconsin.
Because
Highway
25th Street is the Seven Oaks entrance, maybe?
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
Yes, but we didn't put them that far down the road.
I just want in the minutes that we're not publicly calling out a business because we don't need that notation on there in order to identify which 125th
Okay,
Street we're talking about.
We can remove that
Yeah.
from the
Thank you.
minutes and just do from Highway 35 to 25th Street.
Lori, I agree.
Or just
I
say east.
agree with you.
east
Thanks for
50th.
reminding me of that.
East of,
That's like putting in, go down to the big red barn down in the corner, or so-and-so's corner and then take a left and the old country way of navigating.
so I got a question. Is the establishment got any litigation against the town right now? Or is there anything pending with this commercial residence?
I have no idea.
I mean, it just seems like we're just kind of tippy-toeing here.
If there were commercial litigation going on with Big Guy's Barbecue, that would not be discussed as a part of a public meeting. It would be handled in closed sessions until we were told to bring anything out of closed session into the public meetings.
Okay, so
So I cannot answer that question.
yay or nay?
Either way,
Yep,
either way,
so, okay,
because I have not been in a closed session meeting that would relate to that topic.
so that just brings me to my second point is that are we opening the town up for any litigation on this signage that might be going in?
It shouldn't be open to any litigation because that's our town road right away.
Enough said.
Stop to think about it.
No, I just
We
33
have a
feet both ways. Yep,
we have
I
a
understand that.
We have 66-foot road right away and where they're parking cars on the south side, they're parking in the road right away. Also,
Mhm.
okay? And they shouldn't be. So,
I'm a resident of St. Joe,
yes,
and it looks like this committee is targeting Big Guy's Barbecue Roadhouse.
we're not targeting,
That's-
we're making, the issue, Rick, is we are trying to make it safe for the fire department and the first responders and ambulances to get through there. If there's residents that need to get somebody out to the hospital, That's another issue. It's all safety. That's what our job is, to protect people as safe, with public works. Is, I mean, that's why we have signs out here for speed limits and all that stuff.
No,
So-
so I just wanted to say
Request
what
to speak. Request to speak. I'm just wondering, with having both sides of the road blocked off, someone mentioned earlier about graduation parties or any other type of overflow. Why wouldn't all these narrow roads be blocked then? Why is it only in this area?
Point of order, Chair Marty, will you request that they state their name?
Andrea Ray, sorry.
State your name, please.
Andrea Ray, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I just trying to think of, if there's a way that traffic can park on, get the vehicles off, so they're not obstructing the whole road right away. That is issue. We have a big bank on the north side, which is one of the issues we have with that area down there. So this is not pointing at anybody in particular. This is like I said, it's a safety issue for the fire department, the first responders, people that need to get through that road for emergencies, and so it's just, it's common sense.
Well, one side is common sense.
Well,
Both sides is targeting, but I'm just stating what I see as a resident.
Probably has.
We're not,
Citizen comment, please.
Oh.
Just an observation, if there were written documentation, much of what's going on right now could either have been avoided if it was possibly a resident complaint. So again, it's just real important to get written documentation. Thank you.
And one more point that I want to make, I have parked on the south side of the road before, and because it is not so steep, it's safer for whoever needs to park. Thank you.
No, I agree. You can get further off the road on that south side. I do think that maybe we should put something in the spring newsletter, because that gets into working towards graduation parties, which are probably the biggest offender of various spots around, with people parking on the roads when the graduation parties start. We should put something in the spring newsletter asking people to not park on both sides of the road.
We just had 1,000 people at Perch Lake Park on Sunday. That went pretty well with the fire department and little trick or treaters. It was unbelievably busy. Little tykers everywhere and shuttles going by, and it's like people walking down Perch Lake Road. It was
And nobody parking on the road by our signs?
correct. They shuttled from east of 60th. They had 2 shuttles going steady. And then they also parked in the park. And it was a great event.
Cool.
Talked to the director, shook his hand. I met him for the first time, and there was nobody parked on Perch Lake Road. It was awesome. The mini donuts were pretty good too. Had to go down.
Okay,
on the golf cart.
all right.
If we're finished with that, I have something else to bring up on signage.
Go ahead.
Okay, Bob?
Yes.
Okay. In our last meeting, we talked about the 45-mile-an-hour sign on the Holton curve and removing that to make that a consistent 35 all the way through. The sign has not been removed. I talked to Todd today, and as far as he knows, he has not received a work order on it.
I have a work order going to Teresa, and that will be addressed in that work order. 'Cause
Okay,
there are other signs out, the street signs out there that are crooked. There's some posts that need to be taken out of the ground and put back in straight, because there's some like this Pine
Oh, yeah.
Valley is like this. 132nd over on County Road I is bent over, probably snow plows or whatever. And they need to be addressed. I mean, if I have this thing that I'm proud to see our achievement in putting street signs out here, new ones. And just out driving in other municipalities, I see horrid stuff out there. You can't even read the street signs, and we've achieved, and I still have another list to go for next year. So I'd like to see these signs straightened up and there seems to be some issue with wind or something, but I don't see that on all signs, but that's what I'm getting from Todd, but I'm not sure. I mean, we brought it up. Maybe we need to drill a hole through the holder and through the sign. And
no, I don't think that's it, Bob. But I have suggested that Todd use blue Loctite on all of those,
yes, it would.
all those screws and
very-
bolts for the signs.
They're very small.
They're very small.
Screws in there, so.
Tell them to use red.
If that sign's never gonna get changed out.
Screw 'em.
It's
So
already
anyhow.
red.
Porta band it off.
Oh. All right,
That's the next step.
yeah. So Lee, you want to leave or you want to stick around? We're pretty much done.
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay.
I was gonna bring up 9.1 when it came.
Nine what?
More of a maintenance issue.
Got it. Okay,
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
yep,
Okay,
got past that signage issue.
yep. Ooh, anyhow, traffic counts, you want to address that now or next meeting?
One moment.
Okay,
Took traffic counts on Valley View Road near Bob's house, nice flat spot. And also I set it up on Valley View Road the other way. And I'll pick that up tomorrow. The reports out before our next meeting, and that's going to be it as far as traffic counts for this year.
Heck, yeah.
I'm not gonna have them out there when there's a risk of snow. And besides, I have to pound the stakes into the ground, so as soon as the frost hits, I can't do it anyhow.
yeah, and Mrs. Mouse was in the little box too.
Oh, really?
And I go, yeah.
Had a mouse nest in the box,
It's that time of season. They're looking for warmth.
yeah.
Already had a nest started.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I should have called Lori, yeah. No. Okay, moving on, summer season is over, everything is done, we've done Short Brick Road got graded, which that was a request by the residents down there to grade that road twice a year. And pothole repair is done. Shoulder repair is done. Todd finished up a lot of that stuff and gravel maintenance. Smiths did add a little bit down in on Troutbrook Road, 62nd Street. We pulled that back to gravel last year, and with this new gravel that we got out of River Falls, it's really holding up really nice. And I think we should do our roads like that with that gravel next year too. So we're down to scheduling tractor driving. We got Mark out there now. Jake moved on to a different job. So mowing has been progressing along really nice and I just talked to Mark today and he's done. He's got Burkhardt done, he's got everything east, west, to County Road I right now. And some of the stuff that's on County Road I, he'll be doing Awatuki, Mass Lake Road down on Whale River, 89th, and then east side of Lake. So should be finish it up within the week.
I didn't get River Road again.
Yeah, he did.
I saw him about a week ago, a little.
Yeah, he was out there.
On River Road.
Yeah, he did 3 or 4 passes on there, whatever it was, whatever Jake had done. And I told him if he needed to go out farther, just make another pass, because I used to make 4 passes, so. Keeps the buckthorn down. Is our main objective on these roads and the thistles, so. Our roads are looking really good. So, chipper, I think I brought that up at the last meeting. Doug, we have chipper coming in January. I think I maybe talked to you about that, or we can't get it till then. It's the pull behind.
Oh,
So that's a great discussion. Our budget was pretty ugly. So I ceased,
Cease buying.
yes, I had to take one for the team on our overall budget. We'll see how it looks later.
Because there was money appropriated in this year's budget for that. So we're that.
Then I'll have to talk to the boss lady.
There was money appropriated for that, but
Yeah.
I really think that we can get a bigger bang for our buck by contracting with a local tree service. That anything that we take down, we set up a contract with local tree service, anything we take down, pile the brush in the ditch, and they have 2 weeks from when they're notified to go out and take care of that brush. They have their crew that doesn't tie up anybody from the town. We don't have to have an investment in equipment. And I think we should at least try that for a couple of years. I think we would be further ahead.
So right now, if Todd has a tree go down, he loads it, the brush is going to Tommy Blill's. He just hauls it up there.
And that's the other way we can do it is,
So.
haul it away, but
We've been doing that, but anything major that, we got some issues down on Rolling Hills Trail. They're old elm trees and they're gonna be starting to fall, so next year. That'll be before the seal coat goes on again. We should
So
address that.
what I'm hearing is I love conversations. If we had the chipper, we would be paying Todd to haul all that BS to Blill's.
Yeah.
You're saying that sounds easy and convenient to haul to Blill's. So what's fun is we're paying Todd either which way, right?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, now that we've had this discussion, which is great, I'll have to ask the boss lady if that money was set aside for 21 for the chipper. Okay, fine, then we can go talk to the salesman.
22, yeah.
22,
Yeah.
speaking and being transparent. Budget was a little porky. And I spoke and took one for the team on, hey, that's a chunk of money in the overall budget that let's table, okay?
Yep.
I just feel that. I mean, Bob had mentioned having Todd call up there, but I think if we could set something up with a local tree service where we tell them, we left a pile in here, they got 2 weeks to go out and clean it up. We have
And I
no maintenance,
absolutely,
no insurance.
And probably seeing that if the boss tells us one way or another, that's what we're gonna get, we will be subbing it out, okay? Because I look at, we like Todd, but I look at shaving some stuff off here and labor is gonna increase, fuel is gonna increase. I do agree with having, you know, currently, there's still some local guys that I use for our tree service that would be more than happy to because of the work that we give them ultimately.
The other thing I dislike is if we're using our own chipper, we end up leaving sawdust piles in the ditch, and I think that looks like crap. If you could blow them past the ditch, it might not be too bad, but
Yeah.
the sawdust piles in the ditch,
What
in the
tree
ditch
serve-
does not look good.
What tree service are you using?
I use Down to Earth or Raven.
Have you tried NWI?
No,
Jeff, I talked to Jeff and it didn't sound like Down to Earth is,
the reason
Doing
why I
good
chose
business
those two
anymore.
guys is they live. I didn't feel that it was appropriate.
To go outside the town?
Yeah, that's just me.
I'm a townie. I'm with you 100%. Okay,
Okay, we'll move on to other work needed, nothing that right now. Tree and brush removal,
I have an item on tree and brush removal.
Yeah.
The sight line traveling east on Perch Lake Road, when you get to the 538 and the 540 mailbox going eastbound, there needs to be more cleared on the south side of the road on that curve right there. You're committed to go into that driveway, and it's just not clear looking eastbound if you're going in front of traffic.
so where's that now, 5 foot?
Across the road from the 538, 540 dual mailbox there, it's a shared driveway. Across the road from that, if you're traveling eastbound, you're coming from the lake and you're coming around that last curve. If you came all the way around the curve, you're going to take a left and go into the park entrance, but as you're on the middle of that curve and you got to take a left and go into the shared driveway there, the stuff that's on the south side of that curve right there still snakes too far down into that ditch and you don't have a good sight line to commit to go into that driveway.
Is that where they took out the stuff from the curve back to those?
They didn't go far enough to the east. There's a box there. There's a tub.
Yeah.
A ped
Okay.
and a pull station.
Yep.
There needs to be a little more clearing, and it's not big, it's not real big stuff.
Okay. I'll take a look at it. Chris, you know, look at it. Take a look at that, see what we need to do. So anyhow, so tree and brush removal, Valley View Trail had some on the S curves, down from, East Oaks that got Todd took out of there, and then, Pine View Trail had some overhanging trees that he took out too, because they're gonna hit snowfalls when they got blocks of it. So that's, those got addressed and they're done. So we can move on to tractor equipment maintenance. We gotta send that tractor in for something after we get done.
Yeah.
So, I was just wondering, Mark had said something about once he gets done with the roads out here, if we want him to go back out and get a little bit farther out in the ditch where you've got buckthorn, we could probably do that with the older blades that is, you know, it as we go down the road here.
Well, we'll see what Frieza looks like. I wanted to wash that tractor and make an appointment for that.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, I said I'd have a discussion with you.
Okay.
See where we go from there, so. Just, some, cause I see some buckthorn out there that we could get out, you know, maybe one more pass and, especially like on 132nd going towards County Road High. And there's a stop sign ahead and the buckthorn is peachy, you know, they've already made 3 passes, but it could use another pass to clear that out. And I stressed that if you're sitting at a cab and you're 500 feet from the intersection where there's a stop sign, you need to go out extra to make sure it's safe. That's was always a rule of thumb to drive, operate that, so. Yeah, okay, so good there. Review the bills and expenditures for the month. So you guys want to take a look at them and see what you think. For the next meeting.
How much are no parking signs each?
How much are they?
Yep, just ballpark.
I have no idea.
No, I'm just going through the expenditures. But I'm just curious.
So we try to be looking at.
No, there's 3,500 going out on signage, but I was just wondering how much a no parking sign costs.
That increased, that included the,
Labor, I understand, and post and hardware.
yeah, but that also included,
$150 a sign?
Some of the street signs too. I think they're, probably less than that.
$100 a sign? $100 a,
I just checked for, a new street sign for my street, so it's in private, and that was with the private access, and that was $87 shipped. For 2 of them, so. So, Decker's pretty reasonable, so.
Yeah, I know we've shopped around and we got our best deal. With good signs, Decker, we're not buying cheap signs either, because cheap signs don't leak.
they don't last.
Don't last.
No, I understand.
So these, the ones from Decker are, go beyond the 10-year. For, you know, UV. So we can probably get over 14 years out,
That's awesome.
so
No, if you,
depending on how the sun beats on them, whatever, so.
Yep.
Okay, everybody fine with the budget? So. Okay, we'll move on. Anybody got any comments for public comment? Anybody still on the streaming?
Thanks for turning on the audio.
Oh,
you're welcome, Darla.
is it
Thank
on?
you.
Okay,
Yeah, I noticed that about 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the meeting.
all right.
Well, it wasn't on last month.
No. So, okay, nobody else wants to speak to anything, we don't have any issues for town board agenda. No motions. Items for next public works agenda. We already tabled that issue about the signage on 125th and
Permission to speak, Andrea Ray.
yes,
One question, could the fire chief come in to the meeting to talk about what, what his view is on this? The parking and how that relates to everything? As far,
no, he didn't come into our meeting last month.
but could you invite him into the next meeting?
I will personally talk to him and see what the viewpoint of the chief and the assistant chiefs are. And we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.
It'll be on our next agenda next month.
All right, thank you.
All right.
It would be nice that you would send an email or something at least. So you do have his comments in writing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Okay. So anyhow, our next meeting will be December 6th.
6th, yep,
6th or 5th,
6th,
6th.
Tuesday?
yep, 6th is a Tuesday, according to Google.
Jesus, yes, I looked right at the 5th. It's like, yes, Tuesday, the 6th.
Okay. Take the motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
motion carried. We are off
6
at
58.
58 minutes, time for some tacos.
6:58.
Taco Tuesday, right?
It is.
Yep,
It's too nice to be inside.
yeah. Anybody wants to see some amazing sand hill cranes, go up to up north. West. Yeah. There.
Hey, Darla, are you still on?
Yes,
Do you have my phone number of my cell phone?
no, I don't.
I'll give it to you. If
Okay.
we're ever doing a public works meeting and the
Yes.
audio is not on, call me.
Okay,
You ready?
you bet.
651-261-0916.
Thank you.
You're welcome.